Welcome to the Lion's Den, another week of basketball talk. We normally film this thing at the Randall Ford dealership in Fort Smith, but it's tournament week. Got to stay focused. Want to stay on campus. Want to get ready for the tournament. Pretty excited about that because we're going to be talking to Coach Ryan McAdams and Anna Trusty today in the den. And this is one of those weeks that's a lot of fun. A lot of build up to the tournament. It's the first time in the MIAA Conference Tournament, and UA Fort Smith, you got a ticket to the dance. And Coach, this team, and we've talked about this several times, since you've arrived on campus, your teams every single year have consistently gotten better. And this team is right there. Consistent quarters, great finishes. When you've been down a few points, you come back and won. And your first 2 years, those teams, you'd be right there and just a possession or two. That's not the case with this team.
No, we have leadership on this team, in this group. We have players, and we've put ourselves in a position where we can trust our kids to make plays. Case in point, Saturday we got down by a point at Rogers in the fourth quarter, and I elected to not call a timeout. I felt the kids could play their way out of it, and they did. You just hope that with each year you just build your culture, your talent level, and just your competitiveness. I think that we have competitors. Anna's one of our top competitors in practice on a day-to-day, and we have a number of kids in our gym every day that come and show up and play hard and compete with each other to make each other better, and then that translates to games very well. And so, yeah, we're in a great place right now as far as that goes, heading into March Madness and the people that we have in our locker room and what they're capable of when it's hard, when the games get difficult. And we're really excited about where we are. We met about it last night actually as a team and talked about turning the page on the regular season and moving into the postseason, and we're really excited for this week.
How important is chemistry? It seems like this team has chemistry.
Yeah, it's probably the most important. From the jump, they really came together. We've had some different circumstances off the court this year that have brought us even closer. We, as a coaching staff, rolled the dice by bringing in an athlete at Christmas and adding another person to the locker room for the second semester, and we challenged our chemistry and our culture in those moments. And, the team has just stood strong together and really, you can just tell that they have an affinity for each other when they're around each other. I just like to sit and observe and watch them kind of communicate with each other and be around each other when we're together. And the chemistry that we have off the floor has really translated onto the court.
Coach, the final week of regular season, you're on the road to finish up your regular season games. What was your main focus? You knew you were locked into the tournament. It wasn't like you were playing for a tournament seed or for a tournament ticket. You were already in, no matter what. You could have dropped those last two games. Your team was already in. What did you build on as far as practice? What did you keep in their minds? Focus on the last two games, or hey, let's prepare for the tournament?
Yeah, I actually fumbled the ball last week. I talked to them far too much about seeding. I thought that going into Thursday, we just had a difficult time dealing with the pressure of the game. I felt that if we had won both games last year, we would have landed at the 4 or the 5, depending on what Kearney did against Fort Hays. And I just think that we had a rough night Thursday. After Thursday, we got back to the hotel, and I apologized to the team for bringing their attention away from, next game, next possession mentality. And we kind of just tabled everything until after Saturday's game from that point forward. And they responded, when they're focused and they're dialed in on specifics and on what's coming next and not big picture stuff. They're really, really good, and they're really tough to beat. And so we were talking, I was talking far too much about, where we could land and who needed to lose what games and what we needed to do. And I think it just became overwhelming on Thursday, and it showed in our game. We didn't play very well. And, UCO playing for their postseason lives, which they thought at the time they still didn't get in, but at the time they were playing for their postseason lives. It was just a contrast of I don't know, comfort level, really. And it showed Thursday. And so, again, putting my team in a position to have to bounce back from a loss on the road and finish the season the right way on Rogers State's senior day, was a really big challenge. And they really answered the bell. Once we got through Saturday's game, we then moved forward. But between Thursday night and Saturday pregame, we were very dialed in, very focused. So, if I had to do it again, I would have just kind of kept us focused more on just the game, more on just UCO, more on the simple, the less is more mentality. But you live and learn. And, like I said, they bailed me out on Saturday by responding and coming back and winning a basketball game.
Anna Trusty's joining us in the Lions Den today. And Anna, you come from a storied program. Coach Clay Reeves down at Greenwood, really good friend of mine. I love that guy and respect him. State titles at Greenwood. They can talk about all the football they want to talk about. The girls basketball program is just successful, as successful as the football team. And, you came from a winning tradition. This year's team at UA Fort Smith winning right back in the MIAA tournament where you should be.
Right.
And it's just continued. So the quality pieces that coach has brought in and recruited, I mean, it's made the team what it is, but you still have to get out there and play. How is the transition from high school to college? Let's talk a little bit about that.
It was harder at first. I think I've kind of gotten into a groove, kind of used to it. But everyone here plays a lot faster. They're a lot stronger than they were in high school. The post play here is a lot better than in high school. I think that's one of the biggest things. But for me, it was playing defense. I come from a school that only played zone. So playing man every game was difficult at first. But I don't know. I think I'm pretty used to it now. But.
So what's been your biggest surprise since joining this team?
I guess just the level of competition is a lot better than I expected. I guess that's it.
So a little bit tougher, getting the school assignments in. Traveling to Pitt State or Newman versus traveling to Morrilton or Bologna.
Right, yeah. No, that's true. A lot of my schoolwork is done online now, on the bus or in the hotel room. In high school, it was like a trip there and back in one day. So here it's like we'll miss like a week of school at a time. So it is kind of hard to keep up with your schoolwork, but I'm doing okay right now.
So you came from a coaching staff that was very demanding. I know Coach Reeves, and you joined a staff that's very demanding and that only wants the best night in and night out every time that you step on the court. So it's similar, but totally different at the same time. What's been your biggest surprise as far as the teams, the gyms that you played in? Because at Greenwood you played a lot of nice gymnasiums, but nothing like what you see in college.
No. Me and some of the other teammates, we always joke about some of the gyms that we play in now are smaller than some of the high school gyms we played in. But and some of the crowds, aren't great, especially the away games. But that's one big thing. The way we prepare for games now is a lot more demanding than in high school. We get out of school, he would give us $10 and we'd go get food from the gas station or something, and then come back and warm up to 15 minutes before the game. But now it's we have scheduled time from hours before the game just to get ready. So that's a big difference. But I think it helps prepare us better. So
if you were going to say one thing to a recruit that the coaching staff is looking at and would like to bring in, what would be the biggest selling quality at UA Fort Smith?
I think just getting kids who are dialed in and ready 24/7, who want to win, want to help the program, have a good work ethic. I think it's the biggest thing.
Coach, you've tapped into a great program in Greenwood. We've seen several players, on the team throughout the year from Greenwood. So, that tradition continues. I know that the MIAA tournament's coming up. Let's talk a little bit about that. You are going up early so you can watch some of the other teams play. And How important is that to keep your team focused as far as the early games early on?
I think it's important for us to just see the environment. I've been to a couple different tournaments in my career with different teams, and I think it's really important for the kids to just see what it's about before it's our turn. To reference what she just mentioned, we have some serious competitors in our group. We have people who don't shy away from the limelight. In my JUCO days, I had to really gauge how much of the national tournament I wanted my team to see before we played when we got there, because it's hard to watch a team finish their season in front of you. And for a couple of my teams at the JUCO level, I wasn't quite sure that we were able to watch that and allow it to motivate us rather than to make us more nervous. This group, I have zero reservations about our ability to go up there and watch. We're going to watch the 7-10 game on Wednesday night, which is on our side of the bracket. And then we're going to watch the 2 winner of the 7-10 game on Thursday, which obviously is our side of the bracket. And then we play Friday. So I also think, if there's any way to get all the travel out of your legs, even if it's a 4.5-hour drive, which isn't much, if there's a way to just get up there, get settled, get the travel out of your legs by the time you're lacing them up for real, those are all things that we are trying to accomplish. The point that she just made, again, just about, being dialed in, we talk a lot about that. We want them to be human beings when they're not around here. In fact, our hope for them is that they don't always feel like they're an athlete in every walk of their life. But when they are here, they are dialed in. Anna, like I said, she's one of the most consistent practice players we have. And for her status and stature on the team and in the league and statistically, that is a unique trait for someone in certain respects who makes as much of an impact. Just the consistent, diligent work ethic that she references that she has is what we're always looking for. And I'm actually really glad that she kind of pointed that out, because almost more than we have to have skill, we have to have talent to be recruited, but those are the intangibles that actually separate the recruits apart from others. And so, that and the reason I reference that is because that involves our current team. We have Morgan Browning, who's starting on the wing, and she's had quite a story in her career, and Hannah Boyette and Sinitra Jones and Zanaya Thomas, and those 4 other starters that we have all have a story. They all have they've all had adversity, physical health adversity, or just rough seasons, that they started their careers with. Johnny Sinitra, she redshirted at Oral Roberts, came in here having to put things back together, and she's developed. Zanaya Thomas tore her Achilles the sophomore year at Northwest Florida. She's a senior now and just blossomed into, at times a dominant point guard. Morgan Browning, started at Morehead State and went 1-27 her freshman year. That does something to you. She's all the way back around to helping lead the charge. Hannah Boyette has had a number of different things come along, physically with ailments throughout her career. And so, Anna brings some of that winning culture from Greenwood. We recruit winners, and she has that. She has that kind of makeup, that DNA, as do a lot of her teammates. They've been very successful. And so, we have the right group right now that I think is playing the right brand of basketball right now and heading into the biggest week of our season, and we're really excited about it.
Anna, what's been your funnest road trip this year?
That's a great question.
That is a great
question.
question.
To see that. I'm trying to remember them all. It's hard to remember all of them right now.
Yeah, it is. This last one was fun. Nebraska trip wasn't fun. Half of us had the flu. So that one was probably at the bottom of the list.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun at the jury. That one was fun.
The Thanksgiving tournament.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving tournament. We finished that week out good, so that was fun.
Newman Emporia trip was bad.
That one was Oh, maybe that one. The Newman trip was fun.
Because you had what?
Yeah.
27 at Newman? 25?
No, that was.
You had.
That was at. I don't know. Yeah.
That was where?
Yeah, Northeast.
That was a good trip.
That was a good trip.
That was
yeah.
that was a one-day trip
day
though.
trip.
It wasn't very long.
Yeah, that was a short trip. But...
Big right corner 3 in the fourth quarter, or at the end of the third quarter to help us stretch the lead. Emporia and Newman, we went 2-0 and really kind of developed as a team on that trip and had the opportunity to spend some time together. Because the Emporia game was on a Sunday, right? So it was an extra day.
Yeah,
I think we had a team movie.
Went to the movies, yeah. That one was fun.
Okay. What'd you see?
Oh.
What movie?
Flight Risk, I think. Maybe that's what it was called.
Yeah, the Mark Wahlberg movie.
Yeah. It was good.
So it's a little bit easier for you, Hannah, than some of the players. Because during the holidays, you're 15 minutes from home.
Yeah.
A lot of your teammates don't have that luxury.
Mm-hmm.
So how, as a team, do you overcome that? Because you know that they like to be able to go back and see their family and friends, but it's not always the case. How as a team, how have you come together this year and overcome that?
We just hang out a lot, whether it's at like the apartments or we go out and do something. But like he was talking about earlier, our chemistry is really good, so we're all friends and we just hang out with each other.
That is kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's a luxury that you have here. And I brag about it a lot. This is like a family. When you're not just on a team, you're not just teammates. This is family.
Right. Yeah.
So, and it's continued to grow and it's continued to build. So, looking forward to the tournament, Coach.
Yes.
You play the late game on Friday night, 8:15.
We do.
Be able to watch it on the MIAA network. Do you think that's an advantage playing that late game?
I don't know. Honestly, it's very new. It stretches the beginning of the day out a little bit, which helps, right? We're not up as early to get to a shoot around or a practice. We can just kind of slow play the morning a little bit. Speaking to the point of making the MIAA tournament our first year in the conference, I think that there were. I shared this with the group last night, actually, in here, because, again, we were turning the page from the regular season to the postseason, but, we were picked 12th in the coaches and the media poll out of 14 teams. For the kids to earn and accomplish the 6th seed and the 5th best record in the conference, 6th seed by KPI, is a tremendous accomplishment. It's a huge honor for us to be in one of the Friday games, and to just be right there in the thick of it in our first year in the conference. This is one of the most historical buildings in the country in college basketball. Curtis shared with me that it's hosted the most men's Final Fours of any building in the country. John Wooden won his first national championship in Municipal Auditorium.
That's right.
So this is a historical place. This is a tremendous Division II postseason experience that we're getting ready to take advantage of, and so we're excited about playing Missouri Western again. We want to give everything we have and throw it at the wall and see what works. And our team is very excited. They don't celebrate themselves enough for my liking. They don't celebrate themselves. They celebrate each other. But there's a lot of perfectionists in the college athletics world, and so it's important sometimes to just stop, celebrate what you've accomplished, and then recognize the fact that we're not done and we're moving forward this week. And so, it's the first time that we haven't played a game until Friday in a long time. This is a long week now. Right. It's a restful beginning of the week, which I'm excited about. They seemed very excited last night when we shared this week's schedule. And then as we dial it up Friday, we want to make a run that would entail 3 games in less than 72 hours. And so we have a huge challenge in front of us. But again, we have a group of warriors that are ready to go, out there and give it what they have. And one of them sitting right next to me. And I think that, I was driving in today and I thought to myself, none of my confidence is false. I am very, very confident in this group's ability to make a serious push. And so, this is an honor. Playing in the MIAA, coaching the MIAA just in and of itself is an honor. and now making the tournament and having, giving our team an opportunity, to go make a run in this great tournament. It's just all really good stuff. It's really fun.
Well, I had confidence in you all along.
And you did. You told me.
At the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I know the media and the coaches picked you 12th.
Yeah.
I picked you to finish. It was either 4th or 5th. And I felt like that you would be a game out of 2nd, maybe, at the end of the year. So I knew how good this team looked. The players you had coming back from last year and the incoming freshmen that you had. So I had confidence in you, and you've not let me down. It's been fun watching this team grow and the chemistry grow. So, yeah, I think the MIAA knows that UA Fort Smith's for real.
Yeah.
Some of them may be like, do we really have to have them in this conference?
Well, yeah, and, we won 11 games last year, and we were in a different league, and I know that we were an afterthought for a lot of people, and so we're not really holding anything like that against anybody or allowing it to be a bulletin board motivational tactic. It's just what it was. One of the things I shared with Anna when we were recruiting her and with all the recruits is that we were planning on this being our breakthrough year. We felt really good about the senior class we had coming back. We felt really good about the class we had coming in. We were able to land a couple transfers that we really liked. Talisha Brown led the Lone Star in steals last year, and she came in as a transfer point guard this year as a redshirt junior. But it was all myth. It was all theory. It was all hope, right? Hey, we expect this to be, and we plan on this to be, and we hope this will be. Well, now it's reality, right? So now you take that shift in recruiting where now we have done what we thought we could. We've accomplished, this next step. We want to win this league. We don't want to just finish in the 6th seed or be in the middle of the pack. We want to win this league. But we've taken another step, and it's now real. It's fact. It's reality. And so that changes and that shifts the recruiting conversation. That not just what we're hoping to do, not just what we think we can do, but what we have done. And the brightest future of anybody in our league, in my opinion, wholeheartedly. That's not bias. That's statistical, and that's just being in the practice gym with her every day. One of the brightest futures of anybody in our league. And then just continue to build on that with now what we've accomplished as a program. We look forward to a lot of really good basketball in the future.
Me too. Yeah. Friday night, 8:15. Lions be on the court, MIAA Conference Tournament. First time ever in the history of this college after moving from the Heartland, and then the Lone Star. Now we're in the MIAA, and I think we found a home. I really like this conference, and I've liked almost all of the coaches that I've seen and been courtside, listen to the way they talk to their team, watch the way they coach their teams. I think it's going to be very competitive. I think we're going to build some great rivalries, and I can't say that 3 times fast, but I like it, and I like your chance in the tournament. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Get out there and show them why you're here at UA Fort Smith.
Do my best.
Dump 30 on them. Make them know your name.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I like what you said.
That's right.
Hey, we'll have another Lions Den next Monday, and we will be talking about how the tournament went and some other great things going on the campus of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith. I'm Jimmy Huss. Thanks for tuning in.